Grananti Gunanamani Krishna Syanu Smaranti Cha. So that's verse number 35 and 36. I think we were doing it last, if you remember. So let's read 35 and then 36. 35, I remember we did it. Yadatra kriyate karma bhagavat paritoshanam jnanam yattadadhinam hi bhakti yoga samanvitam. Can somebody read the translation?
Can I read, Prabhuji?
Please go ahead, Prabhu.
Yes, Chitra Mataji, you can read.
Well, that's okay. Please go ahead. Please go ahead. Okay.
Translation. Whatever work is done here in this life for the satisfaction of the mission of the Lord is called Bhakti Yoga, or transcendental loving service to the Lord. And what is called knowledge becomes a concomitant factor.
Very interesting, whatever work is done here in this life, it's not that only these things that is there. Any kind of work that is done for the satisfaction of the mission of the Lord. We are talking about mission quite a bit. If you remember the word mission, we were trying to discuss quite a bit. So it's very interesting. In today's class also, this point was a very powerful point that if you remember, it was 329:44, the words which we took today in the mirror class I'm talking about. And the reason I'm saying this, there's a nice connection there also. If you see 329:44, yes, see, there's a very interesting point here. Out of fear of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, the directing demigods in charge of the modes of material nature carry out the functions of creation, maintenance, and destruction. Everything animate and inanimate within the material world is under their control. So we could, in the class, we could only touch upon this thing about the fear. Out of fear, like last 5-6 verses in this chapter, if you see, it talks about out of fear of the Lord, they are doing this. Out of fear of the Lord, sun is shining. Out of fear of the Lord, the wind is blowing. So what is the fear that they are worried about? What is that fear? It has a very interesting connection with the satisfaction of the mission of the Lord.
The fear that Lord may be dissatisfied if they don't do their duty.
Yes. Yes, the thing is, the Indra is pouring rain because if for some reason, if he doesn't do it on time or enough, then the Lord will be displeased with him. So in other words, for the satisfaction of the mission of the Lord, right? So they are, all of them are worried that there are two kinds, there are two types of this thing. One is that I should not get into the pride that I am in some significant position and then get misdirected from from the mission of the Lord, which is satisfaction, the satisfaction of the mission of the Lord, and that is one thing. That I will because of pride I will forget and become too intoxicated with pride. Second thing is I will displease the Lord. Right now, you see one very interesting point here, that Krishna is displeased if the river is not flowing. Krishna is displeased if the wind is not blowing. But there, the important point is Krishna does not discriminate between devotees and non-devotees. The river has to flow. River cannot make distinction that I will flow only near where devotees are there. I will not flow where atheists are there or non-believers are there. Right? Indra also cannot say like that. That I can pour water only for rainwater only where uh, say people whom I like are there. I saw certain people whom I don't like, I cannot give them water. No, he cannot have any such uh, discrimination, personal discrimination. Understand? Now this shows a very, very interesting quality of Krishna, which is this is that Samadarshi we were talking about. Krishna does not care whether somebody is liking him or not, but he is very particular that everybody should get the bare basic necessities that is required. You got it? And this shows how broad-hearted Krishna is. How much wide-hearted Krishna is. And that itself is the mission of the Lord. That is that Krishna is worried that everybody should be happy. Everybody should be everybody should live a very peaceful life in this world also. He is not having any grudge that, oh, this person is not worshipping me, I will not give him water. That person is not worshipping me, I will not give him air. He doesn't think like that. So somehow or other, Krishna wants everybody to be in good spirits and lead a good life in this world also. Of course, if they misuse, if they are too much exploiting and all that, then they will get the repercussions from material energy directly, isn't it? When they are like trying to destroy too many trees, for example, and build something, then they will get the repercussion. There won't be enough good water or good air, or all those things will not be there, right? So that is called exploitation. That is Krishna doesn't directly get involved in it. It's a reaction that they are getting for their own karma. But even if someone who is not doing that, but still not believing in Krishna, but still Krishna gives them the bare necessities. So that much loving Krishna is, because a child may not accept someone as father, but the father, the elderly person, he should accept the other person at any cost as their dependent children, lovingly should deal with them. Because he is at a higher position, so he should be able to give that love, even though the child doesn't want it. You understand? So if there are many children are there for the father, some of them obey, some of them don't obey. The father does not reject those who are not obeying. Still, he sees them as children, his own children only. That child may not accept the father because of disobedience, lack of faith, whatever. So, that is how Krishna is. Krishna's mission is, and all these demigods and everybody, they're worried that they will displease Krishna if they don't give all those bare necessities, even to those who don't obey him. You got it? So, while Krishna may say in Bhagavad Gita that you have to give this knowledge only to those who are devotees, but then the devotees take the risk to even to give to those who are non-devotees. Because at the end of the day, Krishna wants everybody to come back to him. He doesn't want only some certain section of people to come back to him. Correct? So those who are not having faith in him also, Krishna wants them to come to him. For that, if a devotee is taking the risk, then he is the most dear to Krishna. So that is why whatever work is done here in this life for the satisfaction of the mission of the Lord is called Bhakti Yoga. For satisfaction of the mission of the Lord, anything you can do, then it's Bhakti Yoga. Not only when it is like say only that certain basic things that we are talking about should be there. Everything can be basic, like the straightforward devotional service that we talk about. Right? Okay. So this is a very, very beautiful. Yes, Prabhuji?
Prabhuji, I have a question. So
Yeah.
Why is the word fear used here, Prabhuji? Because fear has a negative connotation, right? Many times we run into people where they say, oh, you guys are God-fearing. And it is looked down upon in a very negative light.
Yeah,
Why
that is
fear
because
used instead of saying bhakti or devotion? Out of bhakti, out of devotion,
that
or
is
out
the
of
two
respect.
things, sir. There are two things. One is Bhaya Bhakti, and another is Prema Bhakti. Okay. This Bhaya Bhakti is like giving more importance to the awe and reverence part of Krishna. Right? Like the judge, for example, judge in the Supreme Court or policeman or whatever, then you give them the due respect, isn't it? So you maintain a distance, you give the respect, you don't do these things. So that is required because too much of familiarity can breed contempt. It is called sahajiya. Sahajiya means you take Krishna too friendly, you take him too lightly, then what happens? When then we don't, we don't respect him, because of which we will not follow him. We don't follow his instructions. But when the proper combination of this is there, when you are having the bhakti, should be there. Some amount of fear should be there that Krishna will be displeased. My father will not like it. That is out of love. It's a fear that is out of love, not that Krishna will punish me. These demigods have their fear that Krishna will punish me because they are not. They are still having that attachment to say their positions, thing whatever to a certain extent. That is why Indra is disturbed when somebody is trying to somebody is as qualified as him to take the position of the controller of the devatas or whatever.
Okay.
And so that is why I was saying that there are two levels of fears. One fear is that, I will displease Krishna. Another fear is that, my position will be gone. Right? So at different levels, they may have different, these two different fears, basically. We love Krishna so much that it should not hurt him. We are worried that it will not. Like the gopis are worried that when Krishna has a headache or he has some inconvenience, and they are worried that, why Krishna is walking in the forest, his legs will be paining. That's a different level of spiritual fear. Like you should not hurt him. No, he will feel hungry. He will not tolerate his hunger. It's just such a young child. Like that and all they have. That is a spiritual fear. That fear is it comes out of love for Krishna.
So
Helps, Prabhu?
Prabhuji,
Thank you,
should we
Prabhu.
understand that this demigods fear what they have for thinking that their loss of position would happen is wrong, right?
Sorry, Mataji, the demigods having this
The demigods
fear.
fear whatever we are talking about, that their fear is for the loss of position if they displease. So it is wrong, right? That thought is wrong, right?
Yes. The certain part of it is wrong because sometimes they can be too much worried about it because of their anarthas. Like Indra was worried when Bali Maharaj was thing. Indra was worried when Prithu Maharaj was doing his 100 yajnas, right? Those were all because they didn't want to lose their positions. They are a bit attached to their posts and designations, But still they are serving Krishna. So Krishna does some little test here and there, but he lets them stay on. He wants them to become pure devotees also. It helps.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
And then the important point we have to highlight here is Krishna is so merciful to all the living entities, irrespective of whether they like him or not. And that is why the devatas are worried that, if I don't give air to this atheist also, Krishna will be displeased. So let me do whatever I don't discriminate between this. And nobody would do that, That is the height of Samadarshi quality. If suppose I don't like somebody and if they are getting into inconvenience, I will enjoy it. Isn't it? I don't like somebody, or somebody has given somebody has given some made something to me which is like I pained me, hurt me for a long time. So if that person gets into some physical or mental inconvenience, in my heart of my heart, I will enjoy. Because I wanted him to suffer. And okay, now Krishna has punished him. Like that we will think. But a true devotee will not think like that. The real sadhu will think that, oh, why he should be suffering. Right? So Krishna is like that. He doesn't worry much about whether they are worshipping him or not. But as long as they are in this world, it is Krishna's duty. He feels that he has to protect all of them. Otherwise, it just has to ask the wind to stop blowing, and in 10 minutes, out of suffocation, people will die. You don't have to have big weapons and all those things to come and kill them. Right? You just say, sir, for the sun, you just don't come for half a day, then or come like 100 kilometers closer, then will all be one to death. He doesn't have to worry how to kill us. He can kill us in any way. Finishes in so many different ways. So this is exactly where the satisfaction of the mission of the Lord is very important. That point is very sweet point it is. And so wherever you see, Krishna will be doing this. Wherever you go, Krishna will be doing this. That he will try to make sure people are well and healthy, whatever. Until their karma thing is there, they will have to be taken care of nicely. As it is, our body will die, will go anyway. One fine day will come, and how much ever best of air you give, still the inhaling capacity will be gone, or the processing capacity, air processing capacity will be gone in our body. So we'll have to die. And that goes out of karma. But until our karma, good karma thing is going on, he has to protect all our limbs, all our body, and keep us our body and soul together. Duryodhana was so much he was hating Krishna Maharaj, so much he was so much he was hating Krishna Maharaj, so much he was cursing Vidurji. But still Krishna allowed his digestion capacity, his eye capacity, his seeing capacity, hearing capacity, everything was intact. Krishna protected it all. So he doesn't go so much by that, but he goes by like a loving father does to see his children all right, irrespective of whatever their acceptance or rejection of Krishna is. Okay. Okay, so we'll go to the next verse. We read this part. Let's go to the next verse, 1536. Purvanayatra karmani bhagavachipshaya sakrat grinanti gunanamani krishnasyanu스maranti cha. So this also, the team toto and all we read. Let's read the translation alone and move on. Very important point it is. Yes,
Can I read
okay.
the translation?
Yeah.
Translation by Srila Prabhupada ki jai.
Okay.
While performing duties according to the order of Sri Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, one constantly remembers him, his name and his qualities.
So what does it mean? Like when we are doing the activities according to Krishna's directions, Krishna's instructions, then that itself will enable us to remember Krishna even more. See, very simple. If I suppose do my job properly in the office or home or wherever it is, right, where our duty is, then what will happen? We will be very satisfied with our work. Our satisfaction does not depend on the appreciation we get. Our satisfaction depends on how much we have expended ourselves to the best extent possible. The manager may be displeased, manager may be pleased, that is secondary. But have I done to the best of my ability? That is the question. So then after that, the whole thing fails also, it doesn't matter. Then what will happen is, I will have a very peaceful mind. And with a peaceful mind, when I go to go back home and sit and read Bhagavad Gita, the Bhagavad Gita will be more easily understandable for me. When my mind is cluttered, I'm escaping and I'm trying to be lazy, etc., etc. Avoid hard work, avoid some difficult things and in life, challenging things and all that. Then when I come home, I will not be able to understand this also because I am lazy. That laziness is there irrespective of whatever work activity we may be doing. So wherever there is a even a little bit of alasya is there, it will not allow us to chant, hear, remember properly. Whereas when you do our work honestly, then naturally when something comes, we'll say, oh Krishna, please help me, or oh, this is Krishna's thing, like that, it will come automatically. Krishna will make us remember. I think Ramabhakti Prabhu so very nicely posted in the group. He said a very interesting point. I think I should read it. Yeah. In that thing about Bhagavatam, when we study Srimad Bhagavatam, we may not remember everything. Many things we forget. What should we do? Since childhood, we have grown up with the understanding that if you memorize something or remember something, we have studied it and we can't remember. We feel we have not studied well. That's why in our education system, all exams are conducted to test our memory. But spiritual life, it's not our memory. How much you remember doesn't matter. Because when we really need to remember, Krishna is so kind that he will help me remember what I need to remember and when I need to remember. It's a beautiful realization, isn't it? Krishna doesn't care whether we remember or not, because Krishna remembers that we have spent our precious time reading Srimad Bhagavatam, discussing Bhagavatam, spent our precious time to recall, etc. So when we forget, Krishna laughs and tells it's okay, no worries. So our goal is not to memorize, but please Krishna by reading Srimad Bhagavatam. And last, the second point is very nicely. Reading this post should not make one complacent. It is meant to encourage elderly devotees or those who have less memory retaining capacity, so they don't become more start reading on a daily basis. So it doesn't mean that we should not. We should stop endeavor. Right? It's a very nice realization. I liked it very much. So that is how here also it applies really. When we perform our duties immaculately according to orders of Krishna, then we constantly remember his name, fame, and qualities. Because when I do some work, I'll say, oh, thank you, Krishna, for giving me the ability to do this work. Thank you, Krishna, for helping me remembering this particular point that I should remember to complete in my work. So like that, for everything, you will really connect to Krishna. And otherwise also, this same like what is said in this verse came, so I could apply this in section. So when we read the subject, read the scriptures properly, and we do our work put our best endeavor, best foot forward in our work, then whenever some challenging situation comes, Krishna helps us remember, say, certain words or certain statements from the books which we read to apply it in that particular situation. Because Mata Smrtir Jnanam Apohanam cha. From me comes knowledge, remembrance, and forgetfulness, everything. So when Krishna sees our endeavor, yatantascha dridavratam, and then automatically all the things are placed. So we should not be too much concerned. Oh, will I remember it during my death? Will I remember it during my difficult times? Will I remember it during my old age? No need to worry about all that. Whatever you keep doing with the sincere bhav, it will come. What needs to be remembered, Krishna will make sure it is remembered. Right? Our endeavor is all that Krishna is speaking at. So this is the beautiful statement this is. Okay, so let's go further. This
Prabhu,
yes, Prabhuji.
Just one point I wanted to share is like whenever we read Bhagavatam, so we will not be able to understand or remember. So we just simply go on reading. I mean, Krishna is taking note of it. That's what I feel. So even if we don't remember the shloka or this, we have spent that time, and we are just trying to somewhere or the other. I mean, the intelligence is purified, as they say. I mean,
yes, but the only thing is we just keep on reading, but not in mechanically, but putting our heart in it.
Yes.
Without looking at, not even, Prabhu, one simple thing is that whenever we read Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavatam and all, as soon as I understand or some point clicks in my mind, the first thing that triggers me is that, I should go and tell this to some devotees or some friends, whatever. Right? Okay, you go and tell this to, that's a good point, but why are you going, why are you urging this? Why are you having this urge? You should ask the mind. So people will say, oh, that's such a beautiful point, Prabhu, so nice, huh? You're amazing. This, you want to hear this? That is why you are having this urge? Or you really having that pain? Karunayaha Purana Guhyam. That is important. Karunaya aha. Aha means spoken. Karunaya means out of mercy, out of compassion. So are you speaking this out of compassion to them? Or is that the urge? What is that thing? Daya. What is that daya? Daya means in that 116:26. Intolerance of others, unhappiness.
Unhappiness, yes.
Correct? So how much unhappy you are is to see others suffering, that will determine your urge. That will be the standard of, that should be the what you call the root of your urge. So that, like that it comes, Prabhu. If I'm saying, I just want to maintain my quality, maintain my position or a standard of that I've set for myself, that people should consider me as a great scholar, whatever. That is not the reason we are learning slokas or are meditating or contemplating. No, that should not be. That helps, Prabhu.
Yes, Prabhuji. So just one thing I do is pray to Krishna, whatever best of my ability I can understand. Please help.
Please, I want to glorify you more. I want to serve you more. Everything is a service. That is why this Bhagavatam is a service. Right? Bhagavad Gita is a service. Chanting is a service. You can see that as a sadhana in one side, because you want to do it constantly and regularly. Every day you want to do without missing a day. You want to do it. So for that, you are ready to take any level of inconveniences. So that is one level of treating that as a sadhana. But when you want to bring in the bhava into it, then you need to consider that as a service also. The sadhana sometimes can degenerate into a ritual. Like, okay, I have to get it done. That's finished. Fine. Today's 16 town done. Today's reading done. Today's the arti done, etc., 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 and then just move on. That becomes a ritual. So you should see them both as sadhana as well as a service. Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavatam, reading, chanting, everything should be seen both as a sadhana, as a service, and as a service. Nice, Prabhu, nice points. Can we go further? So this is the subtle point we should understand here. And we read the purport actually. I remember reading this purport some time ago, like at least 2 weeks, if I'm not wrong. We spent some time. So let's read the next verse. So with these 5 slokas, the whole thing is over. The philosophy is over. 32, 33, 34, 35, 36. These 5 slokas. Right? These are all the crux of the whole the Bhagavatam principle. First is starting off with removing the best remedy for removing all our troubles and miseries, dedicate our activities for the service of the Lord. And then he's saying that, asking a question, like when it is applied therapeutically, same karma becomes a cause of the cutting the source of the karma. Then he says that when all the activities are dedicated to Krishna service, that itself is the destruction. That's a statement, as I just said. And then whatever work we are doing here in this life for the pleasure of for the satisfaction of the mission of the Lord is Bhakti Yoga. Somebody may be singing nice kirtan, but someone else may not have the capability to sing the kirtans. But if he is giving Lakshmi for that person to buy kartal or mridanga or some instrument, then that is also Bhakti Yoga. You understand? only kirtan, only doing kirtan is not the service. Those who are assisting in the, say, suppose there is a kirtan mela. So many kirtaniyas are there all coming. So somebody is doing the coordination, somebody is doing arranging the everything, all the cleaning the hall for the kirtan, or arranging prasadam for all the devotees. They are also engaged in bhakti yoga. Or somebody is driving them around from back from their home to the thing like that, right? Somebody may not be able to preach, but if they're helping in their preaching, then they are also doing bhakti yoga. They are also involved in the bhakti yoga, right? See, for example, I'm telling you, now I'm staying in a home of a devotee in Mumbai, okay? That Prabhuji is and Mataji, they are in Bangalore. Now they are in Bangalore. Earlier they used to be in Mumbai. So for some time they are kind of out from here. So they said, Prabhuji, if you are coming to Mumbai, you stay here, right? So for me, I don't have a house in Mumbai, but somewhere Krishna's mercy, somebody they are asking, oh, Prabhu, can you read Bhagavatam? Can you give class, etc., etc. Krishna's mercy, it is going on. So they may not be doing the preaching. They may be very busy with their business, with their family, and all that, right? But they are helping somebody in their service, right? So that is also bhakti yoga. That's what we don't understand. We think only preaching is bhakti yoga, kirtan is bhakti yoga, deity worship is bhakti yoga. One who is directly engaged in it is only bhakti yoga. No, that is not the case. Those who are assisting them in their fulfilling their service, they are also doing bhakti yoga. This we have to encourage people to in doing. They should not think that, oh, Prabhuji, you are doing great preaching, I'm only just giving my money. No. If that money is not there, how will the preacher will get the, or not only preacher or in the organizers, they will get to build the temple and engage everybody to come and serve, take darshan and all those things. Right? So it's not like one service is better, one service is lower, etc. I will tell you one beautiful purport is there in the same 3rd canto, 29th chapter. Amazing purport about how nobody's service is inferior to another's in any way. Prabhupada said so strongly. I really wanted to bring that point today also. I couldn't, because that chapter has so many nice, beautiful verses. It's very difficult to consolidate all of them in just 1 hour, I'll tell you. 3:29:15. Yes, 3:29:15 also. And there's one more sloka, 28, I think. 8. It's one. So beautiful things where he said. Such a beautiful purport it was. Yeah, you read the 15, verse number 15.
May I read, Prabhuji?
Yes, Prabhuji.
Translate. Hare Krishna. A devotee must execute his prescribed duties, which are glorious, without material profit, without excessive violence. One should regularly perform one's devotional activities.
See, one should regularly perform his devotional activities, which are glorious without material profit. Anybody's prescribed duty is glorious. That's what we should understand. It's not that only those who are doing like a white collar job, they are glorious. No. It's such a beautiful verse it is. Nishevina animitena swadharmena mahiyasa. Mahiyasa means very glorious. Because the moment you connect it with Krishna, it becomes glorious. Understand? Let's read the purport. 1 minute. No need for first paragraph. Yeah, you read that entire paragraph, 2nd paragraph. So beautiful.
Okay, Prabhuji. From every position, as confirmed in Bhagavad Gita, Swakarmanatham apyarchya. One can serve the Supreme Lord by performing one's prescribed duty. It is not that only the Brahmanas can serve the Supreme Lord and not the Sudras. anyone can serve the Supreme Lord by performing his prescribed duties under the direction of a spiritual master or representative of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. No one should think that his prescribed duties are inferior.
See, this line has to be underlined. No one should think that his prescribed duties are inferior. Amazing, no? Prabhupada so beautifully highlighted this point. And no one should make the others think also that their duties are inferior. We have this tendency to make others think, right? Put down others' services. Oh, no, your service is not as good as mine, as important as mine. Please read further, bro.
Yeah, a Brahmana can serve the Lord by using his intelligence, and the Kshatriya can serve the Supreme Lord by using his military arts, just as Arjuna served Krishna. Arjuna was a warrior. He had no time to study Vedanta or other highly intellectual books. The damsels in Vrajadama were girls born of the Vaishya class, and they engaged in protecting cows and producing agriculture. Krishna's foster father Nanda Maharaj and his associates were all Vaishyas. They were not at all educated, but they could serve Krishna by loving him and by offering everything to him. Similarly, there are many instances in which Chandalas, or those lower than Sudras, have served Krishna. Also, the sage Vidura was considered a Sudra because his mother happened to be a Sudra. There are no distinctions, for it is declared by the Lord in Bhagavad Gita that anyone engaged specifically in devotional service is elevated to the transcendental position without a doubt. Everyone's prescribed duty is glorious. If it is performed in the devotional service of the Lord without desire for profit,
underline this line again. Please read this line, Prabhupada. Beautiful line, isn't it? You would have felt it yourself. I don't have to explain you or give you more details and all. It's such a line, beautiful line, isn't it? Please read it again.
Everyone's prescribed duty is glorious if it is performed in the devotional service of the Lord without desire for profit.
Yeah, a person sitting in the Vyasasana and giving Bhagavatam is no different for Krishna than the one who is cleaning the toilet, or one who is cooking in the kitchen, or who is sweeping the floor. But the main thing is without desire for profit, in devotional service of the Lord. I mean, for the pleasure of the Lord. This is the line I was trying to focus on. Just complete that statement.
Such loving service must be performed without reason, without impediment, and spontaneously. Krishna is lovable, and one has to serve him in whatever capacity one can. That is pure devotional service.
This is the definition of pure devotional service beautifully. Krishna is lovable. Krishna is lovable. Krishna is loving means Krishna is loving us. Krishna is lovable means we can love Krishna. How nice word, no? Krishna is lovable. Prabhupada must be thinking so much about Krishna while writing this. Of course, everything, but here really it is so sweet. Nice word, it is lovable. So I just wanted to bring this point here because whatever work is done here in this life for the satisfaction of the mission of the Lord is called Bhakti Yoga.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Yes, Prabhuji.
Prabhuji, in translation, it is saying without excessive violence. Without excessive violence. What does this mean?
Prabhupada has given that meaning also in the purport. You read it? Na ati himsena. Nati himsena, nati himsena. You read that, the paragraph itself, Prabhupada is right. Another significant phrase in this verse is nati himsena. In the next paragraph itself, he writes. Anjapati Prabhu, you only can read it.
Another significant phrase in this verse is na ati himsrena, with minimum violence or sacrifice of life. Even if a devotee has to commit violence, it should not be done beyond what is necessary. Sometimes the question is put before us. You ask us not to eat meat, but you are eating vegetables. Do you think that that is not violence? The answer is that eating vegetable is violence, and vegetarians are also committing violence against other living entities because vegetables also have life.
No, Prabhupada is so honest. He says, otherwise people will say, I am a vegetarian. They'll be proud of being a vegetarian also. Right? That is also not, you are plucking the things out. It will be painful. That pain will be very less actually, because their consciousness is very limited. Right? That's what Prabhupada is saying. Yes, Prabhupada.
Non-devotees are killing cows, goats, and so many other animals for eating purposes. And a devotee who is a vegetarian is also killing. But here, significantly, it is stated that every living entity has to live by killing another entity. That is the law of nature. Jivo jivasya jivanam. One living entity is the life for another living entity. But for a human being, that violence should be committed only as much as necessary.
Yeah. That is why if you see, in some of the countries where even grass is not being grown, they are allowed to eat some meat. Because there is nothing else available in desert land. What will you do? You can't grow rice, you can't grow rain, so you have to live on something. But again, excessive and unwanted things should not, unwantedly violence should not be there. Read the second paragraph also, Prabhuji.
A human being is not to eat anything which is not offered to the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Yajna Santishta Santa. One becomes freed from all sinful reactions by eating foodstuffs which are offered to Yajna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead. A devotee therefore eats only prasad or foodstuffs offered to Supreme Lord. And Krishna says that when a devotee offers him foodstuffs from the vegetable kingdom with devotion, he eats that. A devotee is to offer to Krishna foodstuffs prepared from vegetables. If the Supreme Lord wanted foodstuffs prepared from animal food, then devotee could offer this. But he does not offer to do that.
He does not order
to do that.
Yeah. So Prabhupada is so very straightforward. He doesn't say that, oh, no, we are vegetarians. We are Krishnatarians. Whatever Krishna wants, he will do. If Krishna wants us to kill you and eat also, we will eat. But Krishna is not telling that, so we are saved. Ultimately, no, we are just children of Krishna. We just obey Krishna, Krishna's order. That's all. Krishna says, we do. As simple as that. The next paragraph is also nice. Please read and to end the Prabhupada's conclusion for this argument.
We have to commit violence. That is natural law. We should not, however, commit violence extravagantly, but only as much as ordered by the Lord. Arjuna engaged in the art of killing. And although killing is, of course, violence, he killed the enemy simply on Krishna's order. In the same way, if we commit violence as it is necessary by the order of the Lord, that is called Nati Himsa. We cannot avoid violence. We cannot avoid violence, for we are put into a conditional life in which we have to commit violence. But we should not commit more violence than necessary or than ordered by the Supreme Personality of Godhead.
They will make it clear, Prabhu.
Yes, Prabhuji. Actually, as I have not read the proper, when I was reading only that translation, where it is saying that a devotee must execute his prescribed duties which are glorious without material profit. Without here, I was relating this prescribed duties with suppose we are doing our prescribed office duties or something. There, that was I was relating.
That also, which are glorious without excessive violence, one should regularly perform one's devotional activities. Here, Prabhupada is highlighting on the food stuff part, but it goes for that also. See, sometimes you will have to correct the dependents or the team members who are reporting to you, or are some staffs working under you. Correct. If you don't correct them at all, then they will just think, oh, my manager doesn't care, so I will just take leave. They will not even inform you. They'll just take chutti. And later you come to know that they are taking chutti without your information. Their job, something is pending because of their absence, right? So you need to correct them. Sometimes you may have to give them a memo or to give them some warning and punishment or whatever you have to do. Right, Prabhu?
Yes, Prabhuji.
So that is not the himsa. But if I'm envious of somebody and say he's earning more than me, I will give him punishment. He's getting, my boss is more, he's more close with my boss, so I will not give him the increase, salary increase. Like that, if you have some ulterior motive for our dealing with other living entities, that is himsa, adihimsa.
Yes.
Correct? So that is also applied wherever. It's in terms of not only in terms of food, but also in relationships, in our activities, everywhere it is. Varun Prabhu, I see you have raised for a while. Can you speak up, Prabhu?
Yes,
Gaurav
Prabhu.
Prabhu, I'll come to you after Varun Prabhu. Yes, sir.
So, Prabhu, the point was that anybody who was supporting anybody who's doing service is also service, right, Prabhu? So in that sense, so for example, if somebody is, so I just want to understand how I should think. So if somebody is doing front end service or doing for example in the case of Kirtaniya, if somebody is doing Kirtan, so the amount of progress he will achieve is as equal to as somebody who is supporting him, Prabhu. How is it, Prabhu? How do you understand that?
Yeah, definitely.
Okay. Or how do a person should has to think in his consciousness that the mood what he should have while doing service so that he can progress in a better.
Yeah, see, for example, Prabhu, the Shravanam, Kirtanam, and Smaranam it is a very, very favorable place of doing our service. Every time we do Shravanam and Kirtanam, Smaranam, immediately we remember of Krishna. Correct. Sometimes you may not be able to sing kirtans in the right tune. You may not remember the tunes, ragas, or you may not know how to play instruments, etc. Right? So that is not a deficiency. That is not a defect or imperfection. That's what he's saying. Even though you may not have the ability to do all that, still when you are helping that person, you will get the same mercy from the Lord. The bhava, at the end of the day, whatever is the bhava you have for the Lord, that is more important. Some devotees will be like, they may not have the kirtan ability, but they're so good at deity seva, dressing clothes, dressing making the dresses for the deities. They have so much power for the Lord in that form.
Yes, so how do we imbibe that bhava, Prabhu, is what I want to understand. How do we imbibe that bhava? How do we put emphasis on imbibing that bhava?
That is where the Shravanam is very important. When you keep hearing from pure devotees, like now we are hearing from Prabhupada, this is actually Shravanam.
Yes, Prabhu.
You understand? Shravanam is not only hearing from the lecture. Shravanam is reading from Prabhupada also. Prabhupada is speaking.
Yes, Prabhu.
Right? So when we do that, then naturally we get that faith.
Got it, Prabhu.
So constantly we should keep reading these things. See, today we read and know this about the prescribed duties. We will not forget it at all.
Yes, Prabhu.
How much emphasis Prabhupada is giving us there.
Yes, Prabhu.
Right?
Yes, Prabhu.
Thank you, Prabhu. Nice question. Was it Gaurav Prabhu who raised your hand?
Yes, Prabhuji. In relation to this question only, Prabhu, but there is a distinction, right, Prabhu? I mean, whoever is helping a devotee who is preaching, so there is a distinction in the position, right? I mean, the devotee or the senior devotees who are preaching, so we consider them as seniors, right, Prabhu? So in terms of the mercy that they are getting, but still position-wise they will be different, right? I mean, one will be.
Even if that person is the most fallen, if he's not doing a proper service also, but if your mood in helping them is pure, you will in fact get more mercy than that other person who is doing the preaching. You got it? That's very important to know.
Prabhuji, please repeat. I want to understand.
If your mood is very pure, that other person may or may not be a very elevated thing or whatever. They may not be an elevated Vaishnava. They may be like whatever they may be doing it. But your mood is pure, then Krishna's mercy will be given to you independent of what that person is. For that matter, Prabhu, I am just telling you this. It's a very practical example. There are many devotees in our movement. There are many devotees in Prabhupada's disciples who are sannyasis who left and went away. But their servants are their disciples. Don't we see glorious disciples in them? Glorious bhakti in them. Just because they are serving a fallen guru or whatever, does it mean that they are also fallen? Right? So it is just that they are just an instrument via media to give Krishna's mercy. If that medium is faulty, doesn't mean that Krishna's mercy will flow, will stop there. Like water is coming and a pipe is broken or something, then water will not go through. That is a material thing. But Krishna's thing is, even if it is broken, Krishna will find some other way to give that mercy to this living entity who is serving. Right? Then if that is the case, Prabhu, then so many of devotees will not be in a good status quo or whatever you want to call it, isn't it? There are many of them who had mentors or Shiksha Gurus, in other words, after Prabhupada himself, even Prabhupada's disciples also, not everybody had the same level of association as with Prabhupada's others. For example, Radhanath Maharaj did not have so much association as a Kirtanananda Maharaj. And lot of Radhanath Maharaj initial these things were done under Kirtanananda Prabhu. But Kirtanananda Prabhu had his own difficulties and he went away, whatever. Don't you see Radhanath Maharaj shining so bright? The shining, what is the thing that you call lamp or whatever, like shining diya in the whole of ISKCON. Right? So we should not be bothered about whom we are serving. If that service, if you are able to do that service, even that discrimination also will disturb us. Oh, that service, that Maharaj. Oh, they are asking my friend to host Gopal Krishna Maharaj, but for me, they are only asking me to host his disciples or some other Vaishnava. That itself is a inferior way of thinking. Whoever is there, just do whatever seva you can. This is again lack of maturity.
Prabhu, on this similar topic, Divya Mataji had sent a message which is so beautiful. Gaurav Prabhu, you have to read that about Chaitya Guru.
Beautiful thing, no?
Yeah, it was so beautiful.
Actually, Maharaj discussed that in the class also, the same thing that Mataji had shared.
Giriraj Maharaj, you're saying?
Yeah, Giriraj Maharaj was mentioning that in the class also.
Is it that Sudama thing?
No, Prabhuji. There was one. There was one disciple who actually went off.
Who is that?
It was sent by Divya Mataji. Do you want me to read that, Prabhuji?
No, I'm asking whose words are that? Is that Tamal Krishna Maharaj?
Tamal Krishna Maharaj.
Yes. Can you read that? It's a nice one. Rajesh Prabhu, why don't you want to read it?
Yeah, I have it open. So, Tamal Krishna Goswami said, Prabhupada had a disciple named Chaitya Guru, who was a Sikh by birth. Chaitya Guru used to drive Giriraj Swami and me around Bombay to make life members and collect money to build a Vrindavan temple. After a while, this devotee thought that he should make his own way in spiritual life. He started canvassing life members and collecting donations on his own. I approached Prabhupada saying, we have to write something to our members to warn them about this person. Prabhupada hesitated. He was not ready to give up on this devotee. But when Chaitya Guru started living with a bogi yogi on Juhu beach to learn the art of passing a coin into one ear and out the other ear, he said, Prabhupada now has reached the limit. It's the end, it's finished. Prabhupada looked at me and said, you do not know about Lord Nityananda's mercy. I said, why Srila Prabhupada?
Okay. I also replied to that. Yes. Go ahead.
I said, why Srila Prabhupada? He said, Because there is no limit to Lord Nityananda's mercy and compassion, no end to his forgiveness. Later on, sure enough, that devotee came back and Prabhupada tried to help him. He gave this person sannyas. Chaitaguru eventually left. But I met him a year ago and he is still on some type of spiritual path. Srila Prabhupada is the manifest representative of Lord Nityananda Prabhu. His forgiveness is like Lord Nityananda's. In terms of dealing with our own shortcomings and in terms of dealing with each other, we have to always remember that there are very few instances in the history of ISKCON when Prabhupada rejected a devotee. It is very, 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 very rare.
So amazing. Huh? Prabhupada never had a closed door in the back door, closed back door. The back door is always open for people to come back. Yeah, I thought you were going to read something else. It's such a wonderful pastime, this especially on the Nityananda Trayodasi. She had quoted this. Very nice. So that helps Prabhu. Maturity comes from there, Prabhu. Really, that's where that Samadha Rishi is very important. Right? Whoever is there, we have to see Atithi Devo Bhava. So one person is bigger, I do the bigger thing. One person is lower, I will do it lower. No. Everybody with Krishna is given equal time only.
And another angle to look at it is, Prabhuji, whoever is doing even a small service, we should give a lot of respect because we know that the mercy is flowing there as equal as.
Yeah, it's like the Hanuman and the squirrel for Ram.
Yes, yes.
Right. So Ram hugged Hanuman also. Ram lovingly put the 3 lines in back of the squirrel also.
Yes.
Prabhuji,
yes, Prabhu.
I want to say one thing, Prabhu. Actually, I faced difficulties with the service here, but you are not churning the Bhagavata also, Prabhuji. You are churning our heart. You are giving us a maturity, how to approach the mentor, whoever is assigning the task to us, and we should be in a pure heart. How we are saying. So you helped me, Prabhuji, today. So I will do the service in that way, whatever you just mentioned above for Gaurav Prabhuji's questions, right? So I will also follow the same. See, hereby I don't mind whomever it may be. My motto is only to please Krishna and please Nityananda. So that is my motto. Yeah, thank you.
Only thing I would say is that you don't burn out yourself.
Yeah.
In the name of service, don't burn out yourself. All Maharajas will say this, Prabhupada also would say this, that it's not that, I should burn, I should sacrifice all my life, health, everything, and then serve others. You do it whatever you can. If for some reason, suppose you have just returned from a thing and you are tired and devotees are saying, Prabhuji, can you please host this devotee in your home? Then you say, Prabhuji, I'm not keeping well. If they can stay, they can, but I won't be able to personally serve him or her. Please, you help with someone, then I'm okay. Like that, you have something where your personal sadhana, your personal time and your office work or home time, they should not be disturbed. In US and all, it's a very nice quality. I wouldn't say it depends on how people see it, but I see it in a nice way because suppose you go to somebody's home, there everybody is, both Matajis and Prabhus are working. Husband, wife, both of them are working, right? So, and children also go to school. So nobody will be there at home to take care of the devotee when they come. Even if they are sannyasi, they will have to stay with themselves. So what they will do, they will just cook items and keep it in the refrigerator or somewhere outside the kitchen. They'll say, Maharaj, you please help yourself. In the afternoon, the microwave is there, you can heat and you can do that. And if they just go to the office, they'll come back in the evening and they will do the needful and then for the evening program, whatever. So the devotees will not complain. You understand? The Vaishnavas will not complain. Whatever they are doing within their capacity, they are extending. Actually speaking, they should not allow me inside. At least they are allowing me inside. So this is what is called Sahaj Mila, Sudud Mila, Mang Mila, Supani. If you demand too much, then they will say, sorry Maharaj, our house is not available for occupation. And we should appreciate people for whatever little they are doing. So the thing is, you see, you cannot bite off more than what you can chew, correct? So don't take too much and get overwhelmed. Sometimes devotees in the morning also after the class, some devotees are, Prabhu, I was too disturbed, I'm too disturbed, and so many things are there. And I said, come on, just first of all, take care of your thing first. To whatever extent, nobody is going to care if your body is going to be disturbed tomorrow. They will not come and help you, be with you and all that. So your responsibility is to take care of your body and do it according to your limits. You should know your limits. No, this Prabhuji told me to do, that's why I have to do, but then see what happens. This is all simply immaturity. So all these things come by studying and being with the devotees who are sane. Basically, you have to be sane. You should not become insane in devotional service also. That madness is like Prahlad Maharaj saying, like, I cannot stand also, I cannot sleep also, I am so much absorbed into that. We are not there yet, right?
Yes.
We are still attracted to some of these old vasanas that we have here, there, etc. Somehow, because there are devotees around, we are controlling ourselves. If you don't know devotees are around, then and with all this YouTube world, this age.
क्लास में मुंह कैसे दिखाएंगे अपना?
Sorry.
हमें क्लास में अपनी शक्ल भी दिखानी है.
That's the thing.
But very, very, very practical life lesson, Prabhuji. Wonderful. Seriously, thank you so much for that. You're clear. My mind is clear now.
Nice discussion points, though. Very nice.
But one thing is there, Prabhu. We should know the best we can do, and always there are going to be gaps. So, we should not take it as a justification that we are burning out and we try to compromise.
See, that is where, Prabhu, we have this nice devotee association, especially senior Vaishnavas you're talking about, or someone who is very close to us with whom we can reveal our heart. Correct? So when you reveal, Prabhuji, I'm not able to do this, what should I do? When you ask these things to a genuine well-wisher, it may be spiritual master, or it may be your Shiksha Guru, or anyone, we call it mentor, counselor, whatever number different names we use for. They, with a loving heart, with an unselfish, loving heart, they will give us they will give us the guidance, not instruction, guidance. You see, so that is where Bhukhyam Akyati Pruchati is very important. It will give you a lot of confidence, Prabhu. Because everybody needs that guidance, everybody needs that assistance. Nobody is beyond the what do you call? We are not too far away from Maya catching us, if I have to say that way. We are within Maya's grasp only, right? All of us. So we can never think that, oh, we are beyond Maya's grasp now. Never. Brahma is praying.
पाछे माया तारे झपटिया धरे. झपटने के लिए पास में ही रहना पड़ता है, प्रभु, बहुत दूर से नहीं होता है.
Bhagavanchakari. So that is why we have to be humble. No? Okay, at least, but there are some who will go and tell to everybody and anybody without discrimination. Let's go, Prabhuji, you know what happened for me, this. Prabhuji, Mataji, you know what. Everybody, they'll go and complain, and when their time also they are wasting, the others' time also they are wasting. My God. You see some of the devotees, and I'm really exhausted to see such people. How they can be so tirelessly talking about their problems, After some time of talking about my problem, I myself am exhausted. So I will say, okay, my God, we should not talk about it. They are like so much, they enjoy their sufferings, frankly speaking, enjoy talking about their sufferings. That's a kind of pride also. So just talk to someone who is very, whom you think is unselfish and non-exploitative well-wisher. Sometimes people go and tell about the problem between husband and wife. to some devotee, and that some devotee, in the name of helping, disturbs their relationship even further. So this because there is some ulterior motive there. And then they say, oh, these people, they are like, no, they are so much exploiting. These things happen. That's because there is no Karunaya Aha Purana Viham. It's not there. Karunaya Aha is not there. Oh, if I somehow or other help this girl separate from the husband, then I can marry her. This is how they think. And then they act in that way. So we have to be very careful whom we talk to, what we talk, all these things. And that's why developing that relationship is very important. Developing in a gradual way to a certain point where you feel very relaxed in that person's when you talk to that person, and then there's some certain legalization or certain things we have to follow, principles you have to follow. Like a man cannot sit with another Mataji alone and talk, even if it is like sister, those kind of things. No, we have to be following these principles because, as I told you, we are within the grasp of Maya. Just arm's distance away from Maya capturing us. So this thing gives a little, what you call, rounded thing to the situation, covering some of the, may not be exhaustively covering all the scenarios, but at least some which are more common. Any other comments? I couldn't go to verse 37, but at least these things we have, with these 5 shlokas we have read, which is really good. And Prabhupada ends that 5 shlokas beautifully with the purport. After giving up lofty, puffed up vanities, one may very submissively receive the orders of the Lord in the Bhagavad Gita or Bhagavatam from the lips of a bona fide devotee whose qualification is mentioned above. That will make everything successful without a doubt. Right? In this purport itself, Prabhupada is talking about the qualification of a pure devotee. That's how the first paragraph starts. No, an expert devotee of the Lord can mold his life in such a way that while performing all kinds of duties, either for this or in the next life, he can constantly remember the Lord's name, fame, qualities, etc. So they will share their experiences. Like my Guru Maharaj always shared his experience of how holy names always helped him. Whenever he was in challenge, even right from his childhood, holy names will always help him. So, and because he had purely experienced it and he with a pure loving compassion, he is giving it to us, naturally it impacts us. And we take the thing seriously, you see. That's the whole thing. Anything else? We'll stop here as far as the reading part is concerned. In our next session, we will take Om Namo Bhagavate to be in the next sloka. And after that, the last 2-3 slokas, and then the 40th sloka comes. With that, we will complete this one chapter. And whenever we are ending it, we will have to see when we started this actually. This chapter, 40 verses. There's some verses that we took more than 1 week, 2-3 sessions also we took. So I think it was close to, how many months actually it is?
7 Prabhuji.
I'm sorry?
17 June Prabhuji, first class.
First class 17 June. So now it is February. March, April, May, June. So 8 months. I think, yeah, it will go till probably another couple of months. For 1 year. 4 months for 1 year. So, yeah, it will go for another couple of months with these 3-4 shlokas, maybe. Or maybe a month. It will be 9 months. Very nice. And that too, we did more than one class and for quite some months, isn't it? So which means it's nice really how we kind of dug through. Thank you, Prabhu Mataji. Anything else before we close off finally?
So, Prabhu, next week's sessions will happen Monday and Tuesday, Prabhu? Or?
Monday will not be, Prabhu, because Monday I'll be traveling to from Thane to Pune. So, Krishna willing. If I happen to travel on Monday, if I happen to travel tomorrow evening, then it might be a thing. I'm still wondering because Radhesham Prabhu said that he is going out of station on Monday early morning. So I thought if I come one day earlier, I can meet him. If not, maybe when he's back, I don't know. His back is also 4th. I have to leave on the 3rd. So it's a kind of iffy thing here and there. In case if I happen to come, maybe stay one more day or whatever, then we will work out. We will see. But as of now, that's the plan right now, Krishna willing. Tomorrow afternoon also program in Thane. We may be able to do a Prabhupada Smaranam tomorrow evening, Krishna willing, because there's nothing tomorrow evening. But but I'll be moving to different places. I will see if where I'm staying. If I get the place to sit and do the session, then we can do Prabhupada Smaranam. And next week, Prabhu, most of the evenings will be some or other packed, Prabhu. Next week we'll have to. Gaurang Darshan Prabhu came and he was in shock, utter shock when he was talking to me. That 2 months ago I'm talking about in GV. He said, Prabhu, 1.5 days, Prabhu. I had 9 programs, Prabhu. In Pune. I didn't have time to breathe, he said. So I know what you people are capable of. Really nice.
Looking forward to see you in Pune, Prabhu.
Yeah, it's quite some time since we came, more than a year.
Yes.
So we'll see. And really, Pune is also welcoming me with loads and loads of work. I've been working like a demon, frankly, means all night and to avoid all this this thing, But somehow Krishna will arrange something. But yeah, that's where the status is, and we'll also try to have something in Hinjawadi. That's what Jainari was planning to have. And in the office, we'll be missing you in Infosys office, Prabhu, Gaurav Prabhu. But yeah, Agnel Prabhu and Anurag Prabhu, the entire crew will be there. So
yes,
looking forward to this. Looking forward to the Bhagavatam discussion in the boardroom.
I still remember chanting in that room, Prabhu. So that room is purified. It's like temple now. All that
Yeah, I don't know.
And, I don't know if January Prabhu sits in the same room or different room, but
no, that is a smaller room. No, that is a smaller conference room. I'm talking about the VC boardroom.
Yeah.
You'll see. Yeah, I was just meeting Kamal Lochan Prabhu in the morning, and I was telling him about this. I was surprised. Oh, so devotees are there in all these offices. That's why I don't mind staying on, even though they are giving me donkeys, kind of. They're. I would say, we have to literally work like a donkey in the sense, no mercy. See, I told that I had this tooth problem. After removing the wisdom tooth, also some too sharp thing was like literally piercing my tongue, and the blood was coming out. And I was telling this to my boss. I was telling the resurgery is needed, and I need to take some time off. No, you finish the work and then you go. That's a that's a level of mercy they have, Well, it's like this thing is on the it has gone all the way up to CTO, CEO, whatever the escalations. They really messed up the whole thing, and then they brought me in. So it is real funny drama here. We have to, but still it is very. I would say it is still pleasing. Because with the devotees around, and where you go for a walk, also you feel like you are at ease basically. I remember I and Jainari Prabhu were sitting in his room only till 2 a.m. and doing some work for the following day. And then we both went and stayed in the our ECC accommodation only. And early morning we were going around the cricket ground and chanting. So it was easy for us, so things like that happen. But what it does is, Prabhu, when we are doing the kind of service, they may give reward, not reward, whatever, that is a other thing. But at least I have a peaceful mind to go to Bhagavatam. That is more important. Satisfied mind, peaceful and satisfied. That is more important than what is the use of the money that we are getting and others are getting, all these Arab, Kharab, what will you do with that? But then mind is peaceful. That's the main important thing. Anyway, we will hope to see you. Anyway, you will be there in NVCC, so sometime we can catch up there.
Yes, Prabhu, I'll talk to January Prabhu also. I will see. I mean, if I can manage to come there also.
Yeah, wherever. Your office is somewhere else, no, Prabhu?
Yes, Prabhu, it's in Kharadi. So
then don't worry. That's in the other direction. So
yes,
we will Krishna will arrange something there also. Don't worry. I think for now, Vishal Nagar camp and maybe NVCC and those and Hinjewadi, those are kind of in thing. So they work out. Hare Krishna. Looking forward to meeting you all, Prabhu's Mataji's, wherever you are. Only person whom I cannot meet is Suchandra Prabhu. Right now, I don't have the visa to go to UK. Whenever you come to India or wherever else, Prabhu will see.
October, I'm coming, Prabhuji.
Huh?
October, I'm coming there.
Oh, Jay. So, where? Vrindavan?
In fact, I'll be going to Vrindavan, then I'll be going to Rajkot.
Oh, Rajkot, Jay. Then we will catch up somewhere in between.
Definitely.
So, you please keep me updated with your dates, Prabhu.
I will do that, Prabhuji.
Thank you so much. Hare Krishna. We will stop here. Pantrashmat Bhagavatam ki jai. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Srila Gurudev ki jai. Indra Vaishnav ki jai. Nitai Gaur Pramanande Hari Hari Bhagavan Sakal Patra Vyasya Kalpasam Devecha Patita Nam Pavanam Devo Vaishnav. Thank you so much, Prabhu Mataji. Hare Krishna.